Hello and welcome back to this Library of Ruina series. In this video we'll be taking on Argalia. This is a 1v1 fight and you are forced to use Roland's special deck. For passives, I would recommend taking Lone Fixer, Myongist, and Electric Shock, but Lock Potential and Snipe works well if you don't like abusing Myongist. For tier 1 Abnorm pages, prioritize Pulsation, Urging, and Scars in that order. For tier 2 pages, start with Sword of Frost, then take Fervent Beats, and for tier 3 pages, take Blizzard. Now for the fight itself. Argalia has 550 HP, 410 stagger, is blunt damage and slash stagger injured, and has 6 passives. Shimmering, Nouveau Fabric, the Blue Reverberation, Resonance, which makes him use a certain combat page which I'll go over later, Final Impromptu, which makes it so his HP doesn't fall below 25, and when he reaches 25 HP, he'll purchase status ailments, recover stagger resistance, and use a page that will kill Roland. And finally, Full Commitment, which makes him immune to mobilization and gives him Lone Fixer, but also increases Roland's HP and stagger, as well as giving him 2 more speed dice, pages drawn per scene, and light recovered per scene. His deck consists of 6 pages and Final Impromptu. Preludio rolls 5 to 7 slash, 5 to 8 pierce, with the slash die inflicting 3 vibration on hit, and it has a 3 to 6 block counter die. This page is his weakest page and can be clashed into with anything. I especially like Zelkova Workshop, Durandal, Alice Workshop, and Old Boys Workshop. Dissonance rolls 5 to 8 block, 4 to 7 blunt, 5 to 8 slash, with the blunt making the opponent lose 2 vibration on clash lose. This page is a bit more threatening, but with Myongist it's still nothing scary. Use Ronco Workshop with an Infinity Die or Adelier Logic to counter it. A solo rolls 6 to 9 evade, 4 to 8 pierce, 5 to 9 blunt, with the pierce making the target lose 2 vibration on hit, and it has a 3 to 6 block counter die. This page is a bit more annoying to deal with, as 6 to 9 is somewhat difficult to consistently beat. You could use Old Boys Workshop and just tank the 3, as well as Ronco Workshop or Adelier Logic with an Infinity Die. Crystal Adelier can also work, as this is one of Argalia's more threatening pages. Trails of Blue rolls 8 to 17 slash, 5 to 9 block, and power nulls itself in the target's page. Use Wheels Industry to squish this page, or Old Boys Workshop to mitigate it. Resonate is the page he uses from his Resonance passive, and rolls 5 to 8 block, 5 to 8 slash, 5 to 7 blunt. The slash deals 3 bonus damage on hit and on use if the speed die it's used on is equal to the target's vibration, all the dice gain 4 power and the target loses all their vibration. If you use an Infinity Die to clash into this, it'll never trigger, and you can use any of your 3 die pages to clash into it in that case. Sequential Blitz rolls 4 to 6 slash, 4 to 6, 4 to 6 blunt, 3 to 5 slash, with the first slash inflicting 1 paralysis next scene on hit. Using your Crystal Adelier's counter die will deal the most damage, just make sure you're clashing with every other page to guarantee it. Scythe Slash rolls 3 to 4 pierce, 3 to 4 blunt, 4 to 5 slash, with the pierce and blunt dealing 2 bonus damage to the target on hit, and has a 3 to 6 block counter die. This page is trivial to beat, so use anything with 3 dice, Crystal Adelier's counter die, or even just tank it with one of your 2 die pages. Finally, Final Impromptu rolls 7 to 10 slash, 8 to 14, 8 to 14, 8 to 14 pierce, 8 to 14, 8 to 14, 8 to 14 slash, 8 to 14, 8 to 14, 8 to 14 blunt, 8 to 16 block. Argalia will only be using this page at 25 HP, so you clash into it with Furioso, he'll die. Generally, you're going to be clashing into everything with pages that generally make sense, while making sure you're progressing towards unlocking Furioso. Once you do that, I'd recommend holding onto it, as there isn't really anything threatening enough to warrant using it other than Final Impromptu. Once you've beaten Argalia, you'll get his key page and exclusive pages. Argalia has 106 HP, 56 stagger, is blunt damage and slash stagger injured, and has 4 passives. Speed 3, Nouveau Fabric, the Blue Reverberation, and Resonance, which makes it so when you use melee combat pages, the difference between the character's speed and target's vibration is 1 or less, all the dice gain 2 power, as well as drawing 2 additional cards at the start of the act. This passive is a little finicky, but very powerful if you can consistently trigger it. You'll also get 5 new cards unique to Argalia's page. Largo is his light regen. This 0 cost rolls 4 to 8 block, 5 to 9 slash. Additionally, on hit, the slash reduces the target's vibration by 1 if it's 6 or higher, and if the page triggers your Resonance passive, you draw a card. Without triggering Resonance, this is the strongest pure light regen page by a decent margin, and if you can trigger Resonance, it's significantly stronger than Will of the City. Even if you ignore the Resonance mechanic entirely, this page would be worth using in a standard singleton deck over Graze the Grass or as your 4th light regen. Allegro is a 2 cost, rolling 5 to 9 slash, 5 to 9 blunt, 4 to 7 block, with both offensive dice giving the target 2 vibration on hit. Additionally, if the page activates Resonance, you draw 2 pages. Again, even if you don't trigger Resonance, this page has a roll average of 6.5, which is equal to an unempowered emotional turbulence. If you do trigger it, however, this becomes one of the best ways to draw cards. Resonant Scythe is another 2 cost, rolling 5 to 8 block, 5 to 8 slash, 5 to 7 blunt, with the slash doing 3 bonus damage on hit. Additionally, on use, if the speed of the die is equal to the target's vibration, all dice gain 4 power. When combined with the Resonance passive, that's plus 6 power. If you don't trigger any Resonance, this page has a 0.18 lower roll average than Allegra with slightly better dice placement. If you can trigger true Resonance, however, this becomes an absolutely disgusting page, rolling 11 to 14, 11 to 14, 11 to 13 on a 2 cost. Trails of Blue is a 3 cost, rolling 8 to 17 slash, 5 to 9 block that power nulls itself in the target's page. I'm a lot lower on this page than all of Argalia's other pages. The power null effect is more often downside than upside, and I already have a distaste for 3 costs with only 1 offensive die. In certain receptions and battles, I'm sure it'll be fine, but I wouldn't put it in by default. Finally, Tempestuous Danza is a 3 cost masked individual rolling 5 to 9 slash that on hit sets the target's vibration to 4. Since your ways to decrease vibration are much slower than your ways to increase vibration, you might often find enemies with over 7 vibration where you can't trigger Resonance. In those cases, this page can quickly reduce the vibration down to a level where it can trigger. It's also good to use at the start of the reception to more easily hit the 5 vibration sweet spot because Argalia's roll range is 4 to 6, meaning characters with 5 vibration will always trigger Resonance barring haste or bind. When building Argalia, I'd bring something like this: 3 Largo for light regen, page draw, and Resonance control, 2 Allegro to further supplement the page draw, Resonant Scythe for bonkers clashing power, Augury Kick for strength, Emotional Turbulence is a strong bomb page, and Tempestuous Danza for vibration utility. Alternatively, if your brain is small like mine and you find managing Resonance to be annoying, you can run 3 Largo, 1 Will of the City, Resonant Scythe, Emotional Turbulence, Tempestuous Danza, and 2 filler 3 cost bombs of your choice. The idea is to cast Tempestuous Danza as soon as possible, and then you'll trigger Resonance 2/3 of the time. For passives, Fervor is good here. Bringing a second power booster or trigrams is also recommended, and finish off with the standard sustain passives or utility filler passives like Hollers, Keeping Stride, or Electric Shock. You could also run Oswald's Splendid Performance or replace Augury Kick with a 3 cost that triggers it. Argalia's page is a bit difficult to use at the start, but once you get the hang of it, it'll be one of your strongest clashers. In the next video, we'll be taking on the next reception in the game. I'll be taking 2 weeks to release this for reasons that will become obvious once you play through it, but in any case, I'll see you soon, and as always, thank you for watching.